So this is the third video from our lesson. So this part we are going to learn about the method on passing variable to a function. So in memory location, a variable can have both a value and a unique address. So in a passing variable to a function, you can choose either you want to pass the variable value or passing an address to the receiving function. If you choose to pass the variable value, it's called pass by value method. If you choose to pass an address of variable, it's called pass by reference. So in a pass by value, the computer passes the content of the variable to the receiving function. In this case, the receiving function is not allowed or not given access to the variable memory. In other words, a receiving function cannot change the value stored inside the variable. So by default, variables are passed by value in C. So this is example of pass by value. So this function is using non-return value function where the name of the function is test and this function has one passing value which is integer a. So now we go inside the main function. There is a local variable being initialized where x is 50. So now this is a function call where test passing the value of x to a. So what it does mean? Integer a in function test is going to receive the value of 50. Okay, now what will be happen in the function area? So if you go for the function body, you see there is a new initialization or new process happen where a plus equal to 50. It means that a equal to a plus 50. So there is a new value being assigned to a. So the current value of a now is 100. But when we go back to your main function, so now in the main function, there is a statement where the program need to display the value of x. So the value of x now, you have to recall back what is the value of x now. So the value of x now is 50. So the program is going to display the value x now is 50. Why it's not become 100? Because of this function is non-return value function. Means that the value of a cannot be returned back to the main function because this function, receiving function doesn't have any access to modify or change the content of the value of variable of x. So now take a look on second example of pass by value. So for this program, this function is the function name software engine where this function is going to pass one integer number which is integer m and this function has a return value function. Okay, let's take a look on the main function. So in main function, there is a declaration and initialization of a value in a. So the value of a is -4. So go to the next line. So this is a function call. Whenever the function call has been invoked, you have to go to the function definition. So for this case, you know that the content of a has been passed to the m. So function header is going to receive the value of A. So M is going to receive the content of A. It's become -4. So when you go inside your function body, you know that there is a new process being happen in the value of M. So now what the value of M? M is -4 plus 3. So the current value of M now is -1. So because of this function has a return value function, okay, now the value M need to be returned to the function of main. But however, there is no variable need to be assigned to the return value of M. So for this case, okay, because of -1 cannot be written and receive atau initialize to a new variable. Therefore, this main function only can call for the value of A. So the value of A now is still -4. Okay, next we go for another example. So again, this function applying for a return value function where the name of the function is security, and this security function is going to pass one variable which is integer t. So next, take a look at the main function. There is a variable called I, where the value of I is 0. So next statement is you have to print the value of, you have to execute the statement. Before call I is, so the value of I is 0. The next statement is, okay, you have to invoke the function call where your function call is going to pass value of I to t. So now t is going to receive the value, the content of I, which is 0. So inside your function security, there is new process has been happened whereby the value of t has been changed, where 0 plus 10 is become 10. So now, because of this function has a return value, the value of t need to be returned to the function call. So in this case, they have to return the value of t back to the function call. So in this case, the function call is going to receive one value which is 10, where 10 can be assigned to a new house, to a house of I. So actually I will be replaced the value of 10. Now after call, the value of I will be replaced as 10. Okay, now take a look on a next example of pass by value. So now this program has a global variable, okay, where the content or the value of num is 8. Next, we go for function prototype where the function name is change me, and this function is going to pass one variable which is integer num, and this function has no return value. So go in a main function, you know that there is an initialization of a global variable where the global variable has been replaced by a new value which is 12. So you have to replace num value as 12. Okay, next go to the next statement. You have to print in main the value of num is 12. Now, go to the next line. This is a function call where the function call is going to pass the content of num to x. So, in x, in the function header, x is going to receive the content of num where the value of num now is 12. So go inside your function body, you see there is an initialization of a num. So you have to jot down this is a global variable. So for this case, you are actually replacing 12 by 0. Okay, now what you have to do is there is a process where you are actually replacing an x to a new value, which is x equal to x plus num. So x is 12 and num is 0. So the current value of x is 12. So you have to execute the statement next, which is output is 12. The current value of x is 12. So go back to your main function. So in your main function, the current value of num is 0. Why 0? Because of you have replaced a new value of the global variable in your function body.